Welcome to another episode of Outside Shots. Beautiful Monday morning here. What is it, November 18th? Monday, November 18th. Here we go. It's been, listen, I'm just going to say straight up, outside of my son winning his playoff game on Friday, this whole weekend entirely just absolutely sucked. I mean, the Suns have not been winning. Both my Wildcats and the Suns in basketball got hosed by refs. Football won. They won when nobody cares the most. So that's cool. So, I know you. I don't even know if I really want. We did this where we went on for 5 minutes about the Chicago Bears. We're not going to do that again. But oh my God, that was terrible too. Like it just overall, all the way around, it was just not a great weekend. EJ, how was your weekend outside of yesterday?
Man, it's cold, man.
Yeah.
You see, I got my coat on.
I mean, you from Chicago?
Yeah, but I'm a desert guy now. I've been here for over almost 30 years, man. It's cold, man. Sitting here, got my parka on. I might have put my hood on.
You got your little puffer on.
I got this on Amazon for like $20.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. You can't sleep on Amazon.
Let me tell you something. Look, it's my little ad for. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you who makes it because there's no infomercial because they're not paying us for it. I got this for like $25 on Amazon. Sweet, isn't it?
Hey, I'm not hating. I'm not hating at all, man.
Man, listen.
I'm pretty frugal when it comes to
listen.
stuff that I buy.
Man, I was in Vegas this weekend. I went over, played a little golf. Won a little money.
Uh-huh.
See, I developed a golf trip, bring my boys over there.
So you can take their money and pay for the trip?
And they pay they all the time. All the time. But it was cold, man. Like, literally, it was cold. The last round we played, it had dipped to about 42 degrees.
Oh, my goodness.
And the wind is blowing. Played this course, Paiute.
Mm-hmm.
That's anybody that's played that, they know. Way out in near Summerlin, out there, way out on Indian territory.
Okay.
Beautiful course, though. They had 3 courses out there, always pristine. They have their own water out there, so grass green year round. It's just beautiful course. But the wind blows. It's like my spot up in on I-10. The golf course. What is it?
Right off of I-10?
Right, yeah, by the casino.
Oh, Wild Horse Pass.
Wild Horse Pass, just like that. So it was so cold, man. Literally, but we finished because we're troopers. We don't quit. EJ don't quit. But, man, it was cold. But then, Saturday, the missus met me after the golf trip. We went to see Lionel Richie.
All night long.
Yeah, we went to see Lionel Richie and, a lot of my friends there because everybody know EJ. So, Suns
Why do you
fans
develop this alternate personality when you come out this show?
Because when I'm talking, because I normally don't talk like this, so I have to talk like this because I normally am not this guy, just on the camera, in front of the camera. So, yeah, Lionel turned it out. All night long, all night. Yeah. He's 75 years old.
Man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
So I had a great time with him. Then, got up, catch an early flight back. Because, I'm diehard. I'm diehard.
Yeah.
Sun's coming on at 1 o'clock. Bears on early.
Got your split screen action going on.
I land at 11:20, but I'm watching some of the game on the tube. Turn it on, immediately down 6-0 before I even turned it on. Fine. I get home, sitting there. Caleb finally playing good. I mean, the Bears defense solid.
So and the Suns.
I called it. I called it, man. I called it.
You Bears fans.
This could not be this good where we're going to march down and finally beat the Packers, who's beaten us 10 times in a freaking row, and all we need is a freaking field goal. I don't care. If he missed it, I'm cool. Well, okay, it's windy in Chicago. They got it blocked.
Actually, it wasn't even that windy yesterday.
No, I'm saying, but if he missed it, I still would have okay. It's a 50-yarder.
Yeah.
He hit a 53-yarder earlier. And they can't even block. Like the last play, they can't even block. 3 straight games, man. The alley-oop, that's what I call it. That wasn't a Hail Mary, that was an alley-oop. Okay? He hit, because our own man tipped it to the fool, and he caught it. Then the Cardinals, at the end of the second quarter.
But, yeah.
They run it in.
Yeah.
With 8 seconds. And then yesterday.
If you're listening to this on audio, I promise you EJ's not actually crying.
Yesterday, man. Man, I am so over it. So I'm like, okay. I turned the Suns game on, and we come out rolling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man,
Listen.
we hot. Everything flowing. We get a big 16-point lead, lose it. That's normal in a game. Take it back up to double figures, lose it. Take it back up. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, Devin is Devin today. He's just on fire. And I even said before the game, I told us, I said, Devin's going to come out very aggressive because people talking crazy about him. And normally that's what he does. Everything is flowing right. And then it just went south. We got 3 chances to go up to.
Yeah.
And then the Suns been getting called for offensive fouls all freaking game long. Julius Randle trying to do an impersonation of freaking Michael Jordan. Like, no. Michael just had his hand on the hip. Julius Randle elbowed. Forget about if Josh Okogie, embellished it. Who cares? In a basketball game, you sell a foul. You don't fight through a foul. Shaq used to do that and didn't get to the line a lot, right? Because people thought he's just so strong, you can hit him and he's still going to score. Okay? Josh Okogie giving up a ton of poundage, a ton of strength to Julius Randle, who goes to his right, and he elbows him, pushes him off, and you can see his arm in clear view. Do that. That's a charge. That's an offensive foul. 3 freaking officials. Officials love me because I always protect them, but they also know I'll go at them. Them 3 officials yesterday, I don't know what the heck they were doing. I don't. That was a bad call. In the NBA, they'll come out today with their little thing and say, yeah, Julius Randle pushed off. It's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late, man. Like, you got to have some kind of rule at the end of a game. If they find out that officials blew a call, they need to go to the monitor and look at every possible thing that could have happened in that last shot. And if something happened, they should be able to control the output, the true output of the game. You got too many people gambling their hard-earned money on games now, and they got to sit there and watch a guy push off in full view of everybody, and then he knocks it down. All right, I'm done.
Well, this is a good shot that we have of that non-call. You judge for yourself. It looks like Julius Randle's arm is fully extended. It looks like it's in the chest of, Josh Okogie, and no call. No call here. That's not a foul in the NBA, apparently.
Look how wide open it is.
Oh, yeah.
All 3 officials looking.
Yeah. Yeah, listen. Yeah,
it's no nothing going on. No players are moving.
No.
Everybody's standing still. So as an official, your eyes go right to that because you know it's the last shot. Your concentration on if Josh Okogie fouls, we call the foul. If Julius Randle pushes off, that's an offensive foul. If he gets it off too late, that's after the shot. That's after the game clock. All of that. 6 eyes watching, and they swallow the damn whistle.
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff that ticks me off.
It was terrible. It was terrible. Hey, listen, listen. We're gonna go into some of the other things that obviously the Suns could have definitely helped out in to avoid that situation by itself. But
How can I address this? Look,
go ahead.
we know if Devin had hit a damn shot, it would have been different. He didn't. So what do? We supposed to blame the past because something happened in the present? No, that's not how it works. A game is full of mistakes and misses. Okay? Mark R. What's your last name up there next time?
Mark R said, if Book even hit rim on that last floater, it'd go to overtime. Listen, he's not wrong. I'm not even.
No, but
listen,
it's the
Devin
pass.
What?
It's the pass. What I'm saying is, we lost the game on an offensive foul. Like,
but he's saying that if listen, the Suns were in control and had opportunities. That last shot being one of them.
I understand it, but my point is, we're talking about something. We can go back 5 steps before that, 5 plays before that, right? If they don't leave Randle open in the corner, wide open 3. All right. I mean, it's just so many things you can go back in a basketball game and say, okay, it's because of this, because of that. All I'm saying is, look, we know that that's a fluke that Devin missed the entire rim. Okay. 9 times out of 10, he's going to hit the rim. He didn't hit it. Okay, fine. But it's the next play. Like, you as a basketball player, as an athlete in general, you can't worry about what just happened. You got to go on the other side and make something happen to counter what didn't happen. So for a fan, I try to teach fans this all the time. You got to stop going back to, well, if that would have happened, if this would have happened. Well, let's just talk about life then. Let's just talk about life then. Okay? Huh? Think about it. If you had went and took your $5,000 and went out to North Scottsdale and bought 1 damn acre, you'd be a freaking millionaire.
I mean, sure.
Because that's what it was selling for back when I came here in the late 80s.
$5,000
It was like
acre?
$5,000 to $10,000 to go get a freaking acre.
And you didn't do it?
No.
Damn, EJ.
I didn't do it. I didn't know. I didn't know zoning. But my point is, we can't go back now.
It's true.
Come on, man.
Okay, confirmed. EJ, not a zone expert. Listen, I know, and I hear you, Killer Rex. I absolutely agree. Like, it's not the only reason why the Suns lost. They did a lot of different things down the stretch that led to them being in that position to even blow the game. But ultimately, at the end of the game, that did impact very directly the result of the game. Like, and you got to make that call, especially considering I think most of the comments here, I appreciate talking about the inconsistency, like just across the board. Minnesota got a lot of calls that went the same way against the Suns, but the Suns didn't get those calls. So it was a complete disconnect. The officials have, they've had tough games. They've had rough games. This is probably one of the ones that people are going to remember the most for quite a while, just because of the inconsistency. Minnesota definitely looked like they got advantage. They took advantage of the calls, and Minnesota is an aggressive team defensively. So it can't be because the Suns were more physical. And so it's just whatever. It's very frustrating for fans because you watch that game, you feel pretty good. The entire game, 99% of that game, they were leading until the end.
Controlled it.
It was tough.
Control.
Yeah, it was tough.
Every run they made, pushed them back. I was proud of the guys, the way they played. You can't feel sorry for them. There's a lot of teams out there dealing with injuries. And it's unfortunate that all these injuries, I think maybe for the 3rd consecutive year, is just throughout the league.
Yeah.
It's not just the Suns. It's throughout the league. Continue to say, players, and I know a number of you watch this podcast, you need to go back to collective bargaining and allow the league to extend training camps. I'm going to keep telling you, you're starting a season and you're not in optimal shape, and it's showing. And you can now understand what I'm saying. So you get this. I'm not saying from a running perspective that you're not in shape. I'm not saying from your body being built up and lift weights. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's for you being ready to run the marathon. It's a difference, right? And training camps get you ready. Nobody's going out to run a damn marathon without running a marathon, correct?
True.
Okay, So that's the killer. We see guys take off in marathons that didn't train for marathons, and they in the lead for the first 2 miles, and then their ass don't even finish the race.
Yeah.
Because they're out of gas. Then they didn't build themselves up for it. And that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that, not just talking about Suns play, I'm talking about players overall. There's just so many lower leg injuries, man. And I just wish that players get that and understand it and deal with the soreness. Because what happens the third day of a training camp, you've gone through that. You can't walk.
No.
Like,
You're
when
sore
we used
from
to
head
do
to toe.
training camp, we'd do 2 a days the first day. Then we'll do the practice the next morning, right? When we would leave after that morning, we come back for the next one, couldn't walk. Like, you were that sore. And I was training my butt off before it. Couldn't walk, man. Like, but then what you do is you push yourself. You stretch and all that, and you push yourself, and you start running, and your body says, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then your body starts to relent. Because all that soreness is your body trying to get you to what? Stop. That's all. So now your body says, oh, this fool gonna keep running. So I gotta change my thought now. And that's how it goes. And so you do that for 3 weeks, like we did. You get ready for the marathon, please. Your body is already past all the soreness, all the other stuff that players deal with early in the season, man. And that's why we're seeing this stuff. And I just wish players would just take a look at that, man, and try to change it.
I feel you. Listen, there's a lot of change that has to happen with that collective bargaining agreement from the jump. When we saw what they signed for, it was already ridiculous, and it's not great for the brand. It's not great for teams. It's not great for fans as of right now. But after this break, we're going to talk about a little Devin Booker and what's good and not good for fans. But let's take a second to talk about this. Listen, we've gone on and on about how great Circle K is. And listen, I went all the way down to Sierra Vista on Friday.
Wow.
It's a 2.5-hour drive because obviously, as I mentioned earlier, my son is in the playoffs. And, I want to go support. It was either that or watch the Tyson fight. I think I made the good choice because that Tyson fight was atrocious. But Circle K's never been atrocious. They've never been accused of being atrocious because they are one of the premium convenience stores out there. So go get yourself a nice discount from time to time by using the Inner Circle app. The Inner Circle app is fantastic. You download it and it immediately gives you an opportunity to save 25 cents a gallon your first 5 fill-ups. That's a lot of money saved, and in today's economy, obviously, a lot of people are, trying to save every little penny that they can, and Circle K is trying to help the cause. And then in addition to that, after you use those 5 fill-ups, you're going to save about 3 to 5 cents. And then on top of that, you get 5 free drinks just for signing up. So whether you want coffee or you want, a nice Polar Pop or a Froster, they got you hooked up. So go to Circle K. It is one of the best convenience stores out there. Enjoy your member exclusive beverage deal. Inner Circle members like you can get up to a Polar Pop of any size or Froster for just 79 cents. It actually turns to 69 cents once you hit the code in there. And then on top of that, join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. All right. Before the game yesterday, and listen, I've not been able to watch some of these games live, so I've had to record them and watch them afterwards. But watching the reaction on social media off of Devin Booker's performance has been really quite something. A little extra, in my opinion. We got people talking about trade Devin Booker. We got people talking about Book can't carry this team. We got people talking about just really. I think it's almost as if they've never seen Devin Booker struggle for a stretch before. I think people were curious as to why it looked like Devin Booker wasn't really being as aggressive as I guess they thought he should be. And then yesterday happens, and you're reminded really quickly that he's one of the best scorers in the league. Sometimes you're trying to find your way through the season, or you're trying to figure out what's the best way to go about every game. And these things are going to happen. But to act like Devin Booker was going to stay mid, as some of you put it, the whole season, or that he's lost a step, or that we should trade him, might be the most asinine thing I have seen in the first 15 games of any season ever. That's just, what are we doing here?
Who are these people?
Oh, just, randos all over Twitter. I mean, the list is too long.
And
to
some
go
of
on.
them, some of them, they basically, they support another team. They invade, invade our threads, and they, look, we just dealt with that during a political season, man. Come on. I mean, you got these robots out here. You got a lot of these guys, they understand AI technology. They got about 20 different accounts. It's to the point where, I quite honestly, seriously, I can't shut down social networking, but I can
throttle back.
I can stop responding. I thought a part of what made me different on social networking was that I would respond to people. But I'm getting to the point, and I'm dead serious. So it's not a threat or anything. I don't think people too much care. But I'm getting to the point where I just won't respond. Like, I'll just pull a LeBron on them.
Yeah.
Like, LeBron doesn't respond to anything. I'm amazed that he doesn't. That right there is a single, out of every accomplishment that man has had, seriously, that to me is one of the best. Like, he doesn't respond. KD can't stop. He gonna respond, right? And I love the fact that KD responds, but he doesn't respond. And I think a lot of players in the league and in sports have taken his rhythm of doing that.
Yeah.
But I just wonder how difficult it is for them to not.
Oh my gosh.
To not go at somebody. And you get these guys on there, and they just because Saul, you got to understand something. And this is not a negative. And the water boy couch potato, I hope I've explained that to you all many times. Just because you didn't play does not mean that you're a water boy or a couch potato. Okay? It does not mean that. Like, what it means is just your statements make you a water boy and a couch potato. It's some ex-athletes that's like water boys to me. It's some of the stupid stuff they say. So it's not because you didn't play. It's just because of what you say. And to be able to say something like that, excuse me, about Devin, listen, I will say this. We saw Devin in the Olympics play hard as heck, correct?
Yes.
And he was playing for his country, right?
Yes.
So that's what makes me laugh sometimes. Like, people, they're so, I'm full of country. I'm full of country, right? But then you forget, right? Like our servicemen and servicewomen. Are you helping them? Do you know the history when they went to Vietnam? When they went to Iraq? They came back here? Hard to get jobs? Get medical attention? Did you go fight for them? See, it's about that, right? Oh, I love them, but when they come back, no help. Love that they protected me. When they come back, no help. The only reason I say that, I'm going to use Devin as an analogy. So a lot of people out there don't like their players playing in the summer in the Olympics or FIBA, right? It is. Devin has played consistently since he's a young man. And he went over there and he played and he won a gold medal. And I would probably surmise that Devin probably put forth the most energy out of any player on that team.
Oh, I could easily see that.
Because he had to defend. They made him a defender. Now I kind of get what Steve Kerr was doing. Like, Steve Kerr, Jason Tatum probably needs to look at this now. And Steve's my boy, and I'm making kind of a joke out of this. And if Steve watches this, he'll laugh. But everybody mad at Steve because he didn't play Jason. He did Jason a damn favor.
That's right. He rested him.
And he played the hell out of KD and Devin. He ran KD out there, and KD was only back 2 days from an injury.
And LeBron.
He ran LeBron out there. He played Devin a ton. People not looking at the other side of it. And where's Golden State right now? Fresh.
Pretty good.
Hold it. Let me take another step further.
Are we going full conspiracy theory here?
Let me take another step further, and I'll get close to the camera.
Oh, tinfoil hat. Here we go.
He told Andrew Wiggins he couldn't play. Let that sink in. Who's the freshest looking damn team in the league right now? Who's playing 12 players? Golden State. Steve, my boy, he and I trade text the other day. I just thought of this. This is what I just actually thought of this.
It was like the usual suspects when he puts the puzzle of Kaiser Sose together.
I just actually thought of this. Don't get me wrong. Hey, I'm not mad at Steve Kerr. If he get away with it, get away with it. Love him. But think about it, people. So I think Devin was a little fatigued early part of this season. Yes. And I think he's getting his win now and he's getting his rhythm. But we got off to a 9-1 start. And then injuries happened. So we'll get it together, but back off of Devin, man. He went over there, he made you happy, he won a gold medal, you were proud of him. Now you want to trade him. Go kick rocks. And that's to the water boys and the couch potatoes. Not true Suns fans.
True. Absolutely. We do have a super chat from Psycho Blue. Let's put this bad boy up. Here we go. B-Ball Cthulhu wonders why NBA referees are more well-known on a name basis than any other sport. Real or fake, WWE barely mentions the refs by name anymore, and they usually blend in the background. Man, first, it's the most intimate of the sports in terms of access and camera, and also behind the scenes, kind of like sound behind the camera. So sometimes you hear the referees talk. You get to know these guys. They name them on just about every single time. Whereas in the NFL, there's like 15 refs on the field. So they'll just say it's the lead official's name, and then they announce everybody else. But in the NBA, they name all 3 officials every single time, and you get a report as to who they are. So I think that's part of it, and also
you can see them easily.
The personality of the refs is a lot different than any other sport outside of maybe baseball. When they get into it a little bit, you can kind of see the umpire's personality. But in football, it's very rare that you see the antics back and forth, or some referee explaining at length for minutes about a call that they made. But in the NBA, you see that confrontation, you see what's going on. You also get a warning with text, and you get the and then we have the storylines, right? How many times do we have to hear about Chris Paul and Scott Foster and that storyline, right? Like, that's just a thing that happens a lot. Whereas in the other sports, the crews rotate so much that it's not really that prevalent. So I think that hopefully answers your question. Did I do a decent job of explaining that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right then. Well, listen, the slander on Devin Booker I knew was foolish because I've seen this guy turn it around in midseason plenty of times before. He'll go through stretches where he's not playing, he's not averaging 38 points a game, but for crying out loud right now, I'm not slandering him. I don't think that there's anything wrong. I just think that he's trying to figure his way out through the season. And I believe once he finds that rhythm, then he's good for the rest of the season. Like, he's going to be solid. Yeah. I think there are some other things though. And I do want to bring this up. And when we talk about the Devin Booker yesterday, you knew he was going to be on. But as we got into the fourth quarter, especially the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter, we started to see some things that were a little bit more predictable than I think, you or I would have liked. One of them being the kind of standard Devin have the ball, let's try to put him in some action. The action maybe does or does not work, or they just switch, and then he backs up a little bit, and then they send the double team or they blitz him so they get the ball out of his hands. And it was just repetitive, right? Repetitive, trying to get the ball back to Devin. Instead of, if you remember at the beginning of the game when they had, the big lineup, they sent Booker off screens to get him into a rhythm, to get him some nice, easy shots. I think at the end of this game yesterday, it would have been nice to see Devin Booker not have to be forced to get the ball out of his hands through a double team. Instead, maybe have Tyus Jones set up something to where Booker could come off of picks and use the offense in a different way down the stretch, so you're not giving the Timberwolves the same look over and over and over again. And I think that has been a little bit problematic because Bud, if there's any criticism of Bud, I wish that we would get away from that a little bit more than we do. It's a lot of standing and watching like we saw last year from time to time. And in yesterday's game down the stretch, especially in the last 4 minutes, you saw a lot of that.
Yeah. Look, Devin took a picture a number of years ago. It was before a game. They were out warming up, layup line. And Dale Curry, Steph Curry's dad, had come down, and we were standing there talking. And Devin ran over, and he got between us. He said, 2 shooters. So immediately I I seized the moment and say, no, we got to take a picture of this. And I still have that picture. I wish I could have sent this. I didn't know I was going to go this angle. And I remember Dale and I looked at Devin and said, this dude right here, one of the best dudes come off screens. Now, and then Dale looked at me and said, you one of the best to come off screens. Mm-hmm. And it was like, and I looked at Devin, telling you, that's an arsenal you got to perfect. And it is, man, because I didn't have the ball handling ability. I wasn't allowed to handle the ball like that. None of us back in the day. We all had to maneuver and play off the ball, and we run set plays and all of that. But I am an expert at knowing how to score off the ball. That's what I did. Scored most of my total 20,000 plus points, counting playoffs, was scored majority of the time, 95% of the time, off the ball. Moving off screens, setting back picks, just moving, not allowing the defense to keep an eye on me.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, at times when I did get an isolation call or whatever, I got doubled. Because the guy couldn't guard me.
Yeah.
My first step was so good, you could not stop me from going right. So running joke. I love to go right, and you weren't going to stop me from going right. It just wasn't happening. I'd sail left so hard that you had to go. Sometimes I'd go left, but I was going right. And so I experienced that, and I never wanted the ball. I never wanted the ball in my hands until I was ready to shoot that sucker. And Devin has to, as he gets older, he's got to learn to incorporate that more into his game. Yeah. That's what's keeping Steph so dynamite right now, is that Steph can play with the ball in his hands. Come on now. Steph Curry with that handle?
Yeah.
I mean, Steph can do that all night long. Still got Lionel Richie on my mind.
In your mind.
So, zoom, zoom, zoom. But I don't want to sing just to be close to you, because I don't want to be close to you.
Okay.
But I'm serious. Devin has to incorporate that as he gets older, and especially when the team is compromised. And yeah, he did that a few times yesterday. He was hot. The one thing that I hate is you can cool yourself off on how you play instead of them cooling you off. And I thought Minnesota didn't cool him off. He cooled himself off because he kept wanting to break loose and match up and get, certain people on him. And they were like, no, we're not having that. Mm-hmm. Every time he did, they ran in double. And so it's that type of stuff that, and I'm sure Mike Budenholzer, as the season goes on, is going to make changes. And, coaches make play changes all the time. And they're going to add some stuff in there to stop that, right? And I think KD needs it. Brad needs it. All of them. He runs a pin down for Grayson. He had a big 3. Remember when the Suns were building the lead? Yeah. So I think that's what, needs to be incorporated a little bit more to save Devin from having to be triple teamed. Oklahoma City just triple teamed him the whole game.
Yeah.
What do people want him to do? Just take bad shots? Then if he takes bad shots, you're going to say he took bad shots.
Yeah.
He can't win. You can't win with people, man. And he's unselfish, man. He played with Ricky Rubio, who started it years ago when he was here, the unselfish play. and Devin trusting him and listening to him. Then obviously it was just taken to a crazy level with Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And now he understands it. He's watched Kevin Durant score 25 and take 15 shots. Like, Devin is a student of the game. And it's not all about him having to go score 44 points. It's about him trying to win. And that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we won't overreact on this show ever about Devin Booker and his struggles, because we know at some point, listen, great players figure it out. And Devin Booker is one of the best in franchise history. And so, but before we get to the next talking point, let's take a quick break. I don't know if you noticed, but finally, after all this time, we finally got EJ a nice, beautiful branded Bills hat. Look at this gorgeous thing. I mean, look at the turquoise state. Yeah, it was beautiful. And then if you turn to the side, you can see the beautiful branded Bills logo. Look at that. Yeah, there you go. The other way. There you go. Look at that branded Bills logo. That's beautiful right there. So get yourself your hands on one of these buttes. In addition to all the other hats and apparel that they have, they are fantastic. One of the best hats in the game, best apparel in the game, and you can save yourself up to 20% off by using promo code PHNX. The hat is also sponsored with ASU, U of A, the Suns. They all have merch in their team shops. Listen, you want to rep the best right now. And right now, I will say this, I will give props to those Arizona State Sun Devils. 8-2, phenomenal. And that's, as a U of A guy, that is definitely hard to say, but real recognizes real, and congrats to them. But buy their hat, buy the Brandon Bills hat, and wear that stuff to the game this weekend. Or better yet, buy yourself a ticket to the Territorial Cup down in Tucson and rep your colors down there. So either way, win-win, look good, look in style. And again, save yourself 20% off if you just head to brandonbills.com and use promo code PHNX for 20% off of your order. The best hats, the best apparel. And if you're a company out there that wants some apparel and you're trying to figure out where's the best place to go to get some company branding and stuff like that, we have PHNX hats that are about to get released that are dope.
Yeah, EJ show up. EJ show up with his hat on. Give you a motivational speech. Oh, it's with a fee. There you go.
There you go. BrandonBills.com, 20% off by using PHNX as the code. All right. All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, EJ, the Suns are now 9-5, losers of their last 4 out of 5, 3 straight. How are you feeling? Give me a kind of a temperature check. On how you feeling about the Suns and how confident you are in that they're going to be able to get back on the winning track soon.
Well, again, we got to get healthy. Like, we are, in a way, a top-heavy team. We have 3 stars on our team. And we've had to, recover over the last couple of years and really build around them. And I think this is the year. I think the guys that we have on this team are perfect. But they're perfect in their role.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference. And like, it's certain guys that are like role players. And if you take them out of their role, it kind of throws them off, right? It's like your computer doesn't have a lot of memory, but you still piling stuff on there, right? It's going to explode, right? You're going to lose it. All right, so, boy, I got the nice analogies this morning. But I'm on a roll right now. And not a jelly roll either, a roll. But, yeah, so what you have to understand is, like, Royce O'Neal's struggling a little bit because now he's got scoring to a higher level on his mind. Mm. Like, it's not like that when Brad and KD and Devin are on the floor. So you kind of step out of that role. And if you step out of that role, can you blend into a role that, well, okay, man, he could be a starter. Now, I'm only saying this because, and I'm not, here's EJ again, but I'm just telling you a fact. I started and I came off the bench. It didn't matter to me. my focus, how I played, never mattered. And here's why. Because a lot of times when I did come in the game in the second quarter, when I started the first 400 games of my career, when I started, I was the guy getting double teamed. I was the guy getting all that. And I went to the bench, and all of a sudden, I had to play a role. And I couldn't be aggressive like I was, playing with Tom Chambers and Kevin Johnson. I couldn't, take shots like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens sometimes is, say somebody got injured. Cotton would put me in the lineup, and it would flow because I was used to being a starter.
Yeah.
So it didn't bother me. We have guys that really have been like role guys. They haven't started a ton of games in their career. So I think that's where the struggle is, and counted on to do a lot. Like Nurk. People want to get on Nurk all the time, but, Nurk is being encouraged to take threes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has a great stroke with his three. I don't want him to stop, but I don't want him to be taking 10 of them either.
Yeah.
And I don't think he is. He's very selective. So I just think that, guys are being asked to do a ton. And we can win a game here. We beat one in Utah. We should have, beaten Sacramento.
Yes.
So it's that kind of energy that we're trying to figure out. But hopefully KD and Brad will be back, so we don't have to worry about it too much. But I think it's a good lesson for these guys. But we're fine. I mean, 9-5. If we started out and we're sitting here at 9-5, people wouldn't be even complaining. But they saw that 9-1.
Yeah.
They see what Cleveland's doing over in the East, right?
Yeah.
Suns are going to get healthy. They're going to go on a roll. And guess what? Unfortunately, stuff is going to happen to other teams. And then people will take advantage of them. Jokic didn't play last night, but I think it was for personal reasons. But, that was a loss for them. Damian Lillard didn't play in Milwaukee. They're trying to recover their record. Still can't win. So a lot of teams, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 2-10? So we could be in a worse situation than what we are. Bottom line is to be healthy come April and be in a good position playoff-wise. And this team, I believe, if healthy most of the year, will be in one of the top 4 positions, and that's where you want to be.
I think the biggest thing for me is, you kind of alluded to it a little bit, is last year when we watched this team at the beginning of the season, it felt like you couldn't really see the pieces of the puzzle for the end of the road. Like, how would this look in May? How would this look in April? Whose role is going to be what? I couldn't really piece that together because the guys were too inconsistent and their positions were a little too undefined to figure out exactly what they were strong at, and how the Suns could really take advantage of it. Nor did I think that we had the coaching staff capable of taking advantage of that. This year, I feel like I can see the vision. It's just a work in progress to get to that vision at the end of the season. And if everything goes right, I think the biggest thing that I will say is, I do think that at the end of the season, let's just say everybody's healthy, everybody's playing very well. Like, you're going to need Nurk to play more consistently, especially once you get to the playoffs. I don't really care so much about the regular season, but I do think that it all feeds itself as you get to the playoffs. And I think Nurk's inconsistency from game to game, and really more than anything, just his inconsistency in being able to contribute at a high level can be problematic a lot of times. And that's the thing that everybody keeps pointing to. People complain a lot, probably the most about is Nurk, but he does do some good things that can contribute to the cause. And so it's a tricky position if you're Coach Bud. You're trying to figure out what's the best way. And I do like the wrinkle that Bud had out there when he had the two big lineup and he started off with Plumlee and Nurk. I thought that was a nice little wrinkle that you wanted to see what that was going to look like.
Experiment a little bit.
But I appreciate the fact that he was experimenting with that, and I hope that continues. I want to see different things periodically. I know you probably weren't the biggest fan of the all-guard lineup or the small lineup out in OKC because he felt like they could take advantage in different ways against OKC. But I like the fact that he's just like, he's throwing some stuff out there just to see if it works. And sometimes you're going to take egg on the face if it doesn't.
Yeah. Nurk could be fine. When Nurk was dropping 20 and 18 rebounds, averaging 16 over a period of game, you didn't hear these guys say nothing.
Yeah.
Like, again, the prisoner of the moment. Like, look, Nurkic is what he is. He's not going to change. But what we do know, he's one of the best rebounders in the game. That's what we know. Okay? We know he takes up space in the paint. No, he's not a great shot blocker, but he still takes up space. He's very physical. Guys hesitate to go attack him because they know they're gonna get hit. It's that physicality he has. He's a very good passer. Sometimes I think he gets too loose with it when he's throwing one-handed passes, but he's a very good passer. He's a very good screen setter. Start looking at the good things about him. It is no one perfect. If it ain't nothing wrong with you, something wrong with you behind. Okay? No one's perfect. You can dissect every NBA player and find imperfections. Okay? You can find them. Now you got to build around their imperfections and make their perfections shine brighter than their weaknesses. That's what a team is about. So Nurk is fine. Stop trying to point the finger at him. You know, the key is for us to get healthy. You saw what we're capable of when we're healthy. 9-1. That was the record, right?
Yeah.
You saw it. So now you're going to complain and you see two of our stars are down? Nurkic missed the game. Grayson Allen has been in and out of the lineup all year.
Yeah.
And we're 9-5. And people want to complain. It is a marathon. Cleveland has won, 13 in a row now?
14.
14 in a row? If they go 82-0, good for them. That means they're going to be so damn tired come playoff time, they'll probably lose first round. I'm just kidding. But because Boston had a heck of a year last season and they ran through the playoffs. But my point is they're going to hit a roadblock too. All teams do.
Yeah.
So let's hope this is our roadblock. And the good thing with KD, because he played in the summer, you know, he's rehabbing. Maybe the rest is what he needed, a little rest on top of that.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll be good. Just calm down.
Calm down. That's it. Just calm down. Listen, we give you guys a lot, but after this break, we have a kind of a talking point that we want to get to that's going to help you get through this week. But first, listen, we have a lot of things here that help you get through the week. And one of those things is just all of our cool events. And for you Suns fans out here, I'm talking directly to each and every single one of you. We have a really cool takeover for New Year's Eve. It's a New Year's Eve suite extravaganza, bash, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be awesome. Come join the PHNX Suns crew to watch Book and KD and the Suns take on Ja Morant and the Grizzlies from a suite. The takeover package includes a game ticket, food and drink in the suite, and you get to hang out with the good folks at PHNX, and maybe EJ will make a cameo appearance before or at halftime or after the game. Let's see. Hopefully we can get that to happen.
Yeah.
But all you got to do is go to gophnx.com/events and get yourself a ticket. It's going to be an amazing experience. And we have some other things in store that we really want to provide you guys when you get there. So again, go check it out. And as a diehard, you get a discount on these tickets as well, which is really cool. 20% off of your ticket. So the suite is just, if you've never been, you've never had the opportunity, here's your chance. Come hang out with us and have a great time. In addition to that, we also have our next watch party, which will be before that, December 7th. And that is against the Miami Heat. And that's also at Gila River Wild Horse Pass. It's going to be a tremendous time. If you've never come out and hung out with the crew, you really got to, because they do such a great job of just, you know, meeting with you guys. And Steven does a great job of kind of like pointing out things in the show or in the game as live as they're happening. He really wants to educate people on what is happening in the game and give you a little bit more insight into the reasons why things happen at periodic times during games. So again, the experience is one in a million. You will have a great time. Our diehards are fantastic. Let's grow the group. Let's make it bigger than it is. So check out events at phnx.com. All right.
Hold up. Hold up, man. See, I'm tired of you guys trying to semi-insult me. You know? Really? Really, Landon Alverson? Really?
What'd you say? Oh, when are we including Grayson Allen's number for best shooter to grace number 8 in his son's uniform? Ooh. EJ. Grayson's a pretty good shooter.
Look, I told him when I first met him in training camp last year. I say, man, you wear that number 8, bro. You better wear it right.
Remember you saying that?
I said Tim Kempton wore that number 8, and I about committed an assault. I had to throw my boy Tim in there. But no, Grayson's a tremendous shooter. Tremendous. He's a tremendous shooter.
But I feel like there's something else you want to add to that.
Bro. I'm sorry. Look, I don't brag on a lot of stuff because, like, people rip me on a lot of stuff, right? They rip you on a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't play defense. They didn't say I couldn't rebound because I could rebound. Okay. You're not tough enough. No, they didn't say that because they knew I was tough because I got beat up every night by guys trying to stop me from scoring. Oh, you're not a good passer. Yeah, I was a good passer. I just didn't pass it a lot because I was supposed to shoot it. But when you say somebody's a better shooter than me, please. I go in the gym with Grayson right now today. Just give me a week, because I haven't shot in I've shot one time in the last 2 years. And the one time that I shot, I didn't miss. It was at Suns basketball camp. About a month and a half, 2 months, about a month before the season started.
Okay.
Don't miss. I am one of the greatest ever. Now, if you want to say Grayson's one of the greatest ever, that's fine. He can wear number 7. Nobody outshot me wearing number 8.
I think Grayson's held down the number 8 pretty well.
I said that. I said that he's a great. Look, the word "great" is used loosely.
I'm just making sure I'm backing up what you're saying.
Here's what great. See, people lose sight in today's game because they focus on the 3, right? It's like when they say Steph is the greatest shooter ever, but they don't understand how to really break down why Steph is the greatest shooter ever. They tend to think it's because of his threes, because he's such a great 3-point shooter. No. Steph is probably the greatest shooter ever because if you break down all segments of shooting, so we'll start with the 3. We'll work backwards, okay? We'll start with the 3. He taps out at about a 10, okay? Off the dribble, going left to right. He probably taps out at 8.5. Let's say coming off screens, he probably taps out at probably 8.5, 9. Let's say runners, flip shots, all of that. He probably taps out at around 9.5 or 10. Okay? So now, and there's other shots too. But my point is, you say, okay, total up those numbers for Steph, all right? Then go to Dale Ellis, who's one of the greatest shooters. Dale Ellis, 3, 10. Dale Ellis off screens, better than Steph. Steph gets him on the runners and hooks and all of that stuff. So Dale might say tap out at, say, 7.
Okay.
So at the end, you add the numbers up, Steph will get him. So he's still there. Reggie Miller, run the numbers on it. Ray Allen, run the numbers on it, right? Eddie Johnson, run the numbers on it, all right? So one of the things that I know that I did great, I didn't take a lot of threes, but when I was encouraged to shoot the 3, the one year I shot them, I shot 42%. So I know I could shoot the 3. I just didn't like shooting them. I was DeMar DeRozan before DeMar DeRozan. Off screens, I probably tapped out at a 10. That's where all my points came from. Getting screens. Down screens, back screens, all of that. Talk to any players that guarded me, they'll tell you I was a nightmare. I was one of the best ever coming off screens. Okay? Runners. running hooks, all of that. Tapped out high. Couldn't get it. Okay? So you talk about best shooter, no. I think Grayson is up there. Yeah. I mean, in the Suns uniform, I can argue. I forgot. It was somebody else that wore number 8. But I can argue that he could be, near second.
Yeah.
Okay? To me, number 8. All right? But quite honestly, in Suns history, dudes, Walter Davis, me, find somebody else. Steve Nash you can throw up there, but Steve was more of a off-the-ball shooter a lot of the times. He didn't run off screens. Find somebody other than me and Walter that's ahead of me and Walter. And I put Walter up there number 1. Oh, and Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Okay? So name somebody out of those 3, okay? And you can say, well, KD is just sick. All right? He's just sick. So I wasn't trying to really go to these guys, but here's what I would say. I would say KD number 1.
Okay.
Best shooter. Devin number 2. Walter number 3. EJ 4. But EJ get in the gym with all 3 of them and put their lights out too. Okay? All right? So talk about the D. You can talk about all that. You start talking about shooting with me, no.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm going to ask EJ and see if he knows this. When you retired, do you know what rank you were in the all-time scoring list in the NBA at the time you retired?
I was top 20, top 30, I think.
Yeah, 22.
I was 22. 22nd all-time leading scorer.
Do you know where you're at right now?
Yeah, like 50, 52, 53. What is it?
61 now.
Yeah.
61.
Yeah.
But still, like, and you're literally on the all-time scoring list. You were 1 spot behind Bob Lanier, Hall of Famer, and you were 1 spot above Gail Goodrich, also Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Why?
Look.
I know. I
have no idea.
I don't
look, seriously, it goes back to the All-Star games. I should have been at least 3 All-Star games. Didn't get picked. Don't start mentioning Hall of Fame stuff because I never thought I'd be in the Hall of Fame based on how I viewed the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But now how I see guys getting in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Yes.
That's where I was going to go. Yeah, yes. Absolutely.
But I don't think that way. But he's got to straighten people up. Like, I'm going to protect my legacy. Like, I don't care. You might think it's like I'm patting myself on the back. No, I'm telling you what my strengths are. Yeah. My strengths in life was shooting that damn basketball, being able to communicate. I can talk to anybody. I can motivate anybody. If I had wanted to get into coaching, I would have. I decided to get in broadcasting. And that's just the way it is. I'm going to promote myself. I'm not. People get mad at LeBron when he promotes himself.
It is what it is.
Let me tell you something. If a man can promote himself, you got Elon Musk running around on freaking Twitter. He owns Twitter. All he does is promote himself. Give me a break. That's why he's the richest man in the world. He does it right. I ain't got no argument with him. Hey, look, you the bomb, dude. I don't like you. I don't. And not because of who you associate with. It has nothing to do with that. I just don't like you. But you're the bomb.
Hopefully
you're good.
Hopefully you've liked this show. Hopefully you like EJ. You can follow him at JumpShot8 on Twitter and on Instagram. You can follow me at Saul_Bookman. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Another great episode of Outside Shots. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully you feel a little bit more optimism as we move forward in this Sun season. Because listen, we haven't even hit the 20% mark of the year. There's so much basketball left to go, and hopefully we'll be here to take you all the way through the end. So we appreciate your time this morning. Hope your week goes fantastic. Make sure you've watched at PHNX Suns the pre and post game show tonight as well.
Yeah, got the Magic tonight. Got the Knicks on Wednesday.
There you go.
And then we get 6 days off.
Damn.
That's huge.
That's a lot of rest time.
That's huge.
Until next time, folks, we love y'all. Peace.